You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
Hey, buddy, you gonna eat that sausage?
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Tell me something, my friend.
Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the role? Ladies and gentlemen! Show some sweet attention, if you please.
Hurry up right now.
The Epic
Do it
Film
right now,
Guys
so you're about to
podcast.
Can't do it during a regular show. Better hurry up now and do it. Please, now.
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend.
So, yo, guys, the wife's going to make the kids lunch real quick. So give me a second here.
Hey, did you stop recording?
No, I didn't. Do you want me to?
Stop recording and label it something like pre-roll. That way I know.
All right.
very, very happy to be here on this Friday, August 28th, 2015, and speaking into my Blue Yeti stereo microphone, courtesy of Epic.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about that Dustin Diamond situation. I'm trying my best to get Dustin Diamond on the show. I'm definitely not kidding about this, so be on the lookout. It might
What
be
Justin
6 months
means is
from
he
now.
poured a pack of Splenda out in front of his apartment, and he expects to open his door in the morning and find Dustin Diamond lying on the welcome mat, licking it off.
We'll see. I'm working on it.
Lull him
I'm working
inside
on
and
it.
strap a microphone to his face.
The problem will be if we get him on the show, he's not going to want to talk about
Ryan.
being Screech at all. So I don't know what I'm going to talk to him about.
Listen,
have you
I
written
don't
up
wanna
a
talk about
description
prison
for
or
the ready
we
for
can
you?
talk about how much we hate Saved by the Bell.
No,
Have
I
you
love
written
Saved
up
by
a
the Bell.
description
I
for
love
Super
Saved by the
Ready
Bell.
for
It's
Well,
one
you
of
know
my
what? I'm
favorite
going to
things
kick you
ever.
off the show for that segment, and it'll just be me and Screech bashing the shit out of one of your most beloved shows of all time.
As long as you play the Zack Attack song in the background, that's all that
I
matters.
have no idea what that is, and I don't want to know.
Oh,
I'm going to
gonna
get.
post it.
You know how
I'm
much
gonna
hate I'm
post
going to
it.
get on Twitter for that right there. People are going to be sending me YouTube links and be like, "Fuck you, I hate you."
Not only do you not watch any movies, Nick, but you don't know Zack Attack, bro. You hate
no.
Saved by the Bell.
I unfortunately, most certainly do not. I am proud to announce I still don't know what Zack Attack is, and I don't care.
I didn't even realize that Dark Knight 70mm thing was happening right now.
Is it really?
Yeah. Brian, do you know that?
Nice. Very, very nice.
Did I know what?
Did you know that the Dark Knight 70mm IMAX thing happened tonight?
No.
Well, yeah, I guess it did.
Okay.
What? Sometimes I wonder what websites he's looking at that his fucking face gets so bright. It's crazy.
This is Untapped.
It's bright as hell, man. Jesus.
It's those Mac displays.
Dan, welcome. Scott LeVar, welcome. Everybody watching over in the Fishbowl on Twitch, welcome. They get to see Jared Taylor, Destruction in Human Form. Welcome. You can see right here, Jared, right there. That's my can of color block that I had earlier today from Perry Artisanales. Excellent beer. Excellent, excellent beer. Whenever we're ready to get...
We're just waiting on you, Nut.
Are you going to get that pup? Yeah. Duty, welcome. This sexy blue microphone. This cover... Oh, Joe. This cover is like 2.5 years old, so it's all faded, like on the end of it. Like, I don't know if you can see it there, but you can see like right here. Like, that's not a trick of the light. That's actually how faded the foam on that microphone is from the light hitting it and stuff like that.
That's so disgusting, Nick. Oh.
Hi, you should be sleeping.
Go, Joe.
Your door's back.
Gojo.
Dance, Go, Joe. Dance. So yes, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much, everybody who is joining us over onto the twitch.tv/epicfilm, guys. Super, super appreciate it. Shit stains. What was I just going to do? Oh, right. Theater mode. Duh. Make us proud, son. Never forget who you are. Oh, my gosh. Oh, all right. All right. So we're gonna go live here. Should I play the intro again?
Yeah, why the hell not? We're
Why the
on
hell
Twitch.
not?
We're
Let's get it rocking,
streaming.
baby.
Let's rock it out, bro.
Loisos, get excited.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa! My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
Hey, buddy, you gonna eat that sausage?
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Tell me something, my friend.
Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the role? Ladies and gentlemen! Your complete attention, if you please.
The Epic Film Guys Podcast.
Well, thank God our problems are solved. We have banana bread.
And I am ready to go.
Nope. We're rolling in 5, 4. Hang on.
Did you make sure the sauce already started recording?
Oh shit! We didn't even start recording, did we?
I did.
I didn't. You didn't even give me a sound check. Damn. Oh, that was almost a tragedy, man.
Oh my God. Look how forgetful you're being tonight.
Man.
It's all that working out, man. It's getting to your head.
Everybody start recording. And once you're recording, we will kick off the sound check, starting with the god of podcasting.
Check.
I'm so
check.
happy I have you as
Sound.
my best friend.
Check.
And Justin.
112 1112 WHLW.
And we got Scott LeVar dropping that Twitch Prime sub over on the Twitch channel. Thank you, brother. Thank you. If you subscribe with Twitch Prime, you get access to the EFG film reel emote. If you want to go tier 2, you get Charles Bronson. Tier 3, classic EFG logo. Yeah, baby. All right. So, everybody's recording now, right?
Yes.
Good call, Justin, because, man, I am... Oof. All right.
Gotta pull up my sleeves here. Ready to duke it out.
All right. We... Twitch audience, I do apologize.
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend.
The Bulldozer coming back 4 months. Thank you very much. And Dan also coming back 4 months. I noticed that earlier. Welcome back. Both subbing to the Twitch channel as well. Thank you very much. We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Epic Film Guys podcast. The Happytime Murders was a piece of fucking garbage.
You can't wait any
I'm
longer.
Nick.
Seriously? Right in the intro? You're already going in? All right, man. Let's have it out, man. You've been waiting this long to go at it.
Are we going to introduce ourselves and everything first? I am Nick, and you're the sauce. That wasn't
no,
talking
I'm
to
not.
You. You beat it.
Oh,
go eat your double.
Is this
cheese.
going to be the sauce show tonight? Is this going to be the sauce show?
It's all, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on, we got to properly get it ready. Here we go. Properly, ladies and gentlemen. The god of podcasting.
Yes, that is me. To answer your question, Justin, every episode of the Epic Film Guys podcast should be the Loy Sauce episode.
That's a lot of.
I might as well just quit podcasting.
Wow.
I might as well just quit podcasting altogether. You can just have
He
the
is
show.
the god. He is
All
the
the
god of
other-
podcasting.
All the other sucker MCs can just leave the building. The god of podcasting has arrived.
Boom.
And, yeah, I'm about to spit some hot fire. Not really.
You sound like it. You sound like that fire's real hot coming out of that mouth. This is Justin, and I'm glad to be here. I'm ready to let Nick just spew venomous hatred all over the Happytime Murders, which I did not watch. I did not want to watch. Saucy, you did actually tell me a little bit the backstory about that movie on our way to Camp Blood, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
I've been following this film for the better part of a decade.
Which I had no idea it had that kind of history.
It's been in
attached
development
to
for that long. Yep.
Crazy.
And
It's
you would
absolutely
think,
crazy.
You would think for that length of time of development that they would be able to concoct a film that was somewhat better than it's literally imagine if someone took an iron poker, warmed it up in hot coals, and then they strapped it to a table, and on one TV they put Suicide Squad on endless repeat, and on the other table or the other TV they put a back and forth mix of X-Men Apocalypse and Independence Day Resurgence, Justin. And the whole time you're watching those movies, they're shoving the red hot poker in and out of your ass. That would be more enjoyable than the Happy fucking Time Murders was.
Nick, did you like the film?
It's terrible. It was. Listen. I am your audience, Happy Time Murders. I am your audience. All I want is dick and fart jokes and people talking about semen all the time.
That's a lot of cum.
Like that. And like when I watched the Red Band trailer, fuck you, Duty. The only film that makes Dunkirk look good. He said Bill Dozer dropping 100 biddies. Thank you, Bill.
Ew, get out of here.
So,
I'd take personal offense to that. Anyway, continue, Nick.
I don't even know how to begin. It's so poorly staged. Literally, there are scenes and shots in the film where the camera started rolling right before this, you can tell, and it'll just be a shot of a couple of characters or like Melissa McCarthy and the one puppet just sitting there, and then a character will enter and the scene will begin. It's the most like movie feeling movie. Like it feels so unnatural. And I mean, I know this sounds kind of weird to say about a movie with Muppets in it. I get it. But the whole premise of the movie is, okay, Muppets are real and they live in the real world, and we're going to see how they really live when they're not entertaining children or doing whatever. That's what the Red Band trailer, that's what the Red Band trailer completely sets up in this film. And then the Red Band trailer is just literally gag after gag after gag of puppets fucking, puppets coming everywhere, puppets doing drugs, puppet prostitutes, puppets talking about sucking dicks. There has never been a premise of a movie that is more my movie. Like this was tailor-made for me. The problem is every part of the film that is that vulgar, really what am I trying to say here? The really vulgar, really crude,
edgy,
just I can't think of the word.
Subversive.
No, not subversive. Hang on. So, let me think. What was I? The raunchy aspects in the Red Band trailer. So you watch the Red Band trailer and it looks like on paper what they're selling is this is going to be a like 100-minute long raunchy insane romp. you would be wrong, because the film's all the raunchy bits, all the funny bits are in that Red Band trailer. The rest of the movie is a really shitty, really boring ass detective movie. The film has the premise of puppets are living in the real world, does absolutely nothing with it. Literally nothing. Nothing. It has Melissa McCarthy, who I know she's polarizing. I know your mileage may vary with her depending on who you are. I think she's done some good films. She sleepwalks through this thing. She is not the straight man. Okay? You cannot put her in a film to be like the kind of straight man that everything else is wacky happening around her. Like, she's the wacky thing. Find somebody else like that's completely like deadpan and like stone faced the whole time. Like it would have been. Go ahead.
I thought her puppet partner, whatever his name is, Phil, right? I thought he was supposed to be the straight man. That's what the vibe I got from the trailer.
You'd think that, but then there are scenes of him, you know, like the one scene in the Red Band trailer when he's banging the girl in his office and then coming everywhere for legitimately 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you can't really. The film, it's bad. It's bad on every conceivable fucking level. It's boring. It's more boring than The Meg was. The Meg is an action masterpiece compared to this fucking film.
Whoa.
Is
Hold on
so
there.
bad. The performances are horrifically bad. It has
Even from Stanley the Manly?
Yeah, it has Stanley from The Office in it, who I swear to God is only in this movie to come into a scene and say fuck 3 times and then leave. That's literally all he does. And somebody sat there when they were writing this script and they were like, what if we cast the dude that played Stanley in The Office, and what if we got him to swear every time he's on camera?
Hilarious.
Shock value.
Yeah, like that's like, I swear to God, that was their entire plan. And Joel McHale's in it. He's just kind of a dick. He's not funny. He's not enjoyable.
Well, you just described Joel McHale.
Burn.
I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that. I don't really care for him.
Man, where is it? Where is it?
Yep. Sorry. Yeah, Maya Rudolph though. Is Maya Rudolph at least funny?
Maya Rudolph is probably the one sort of decent thing about the film. She plays the head puppet's receptionist. She's like his secretary, and she's like in love with him. Fine. Like it. Sure. I feel like this could have been a good thing on paper. The first third of this movie, I don't think is that bad because it focuses more on just exploring like this idea of puppets in the real world and puppets like being vulgar. The scenes at the porn shop especially are hilarious. There are 2 sight gags at the porn shop that are hilarious. So the film kind of starts out in a really, really good place. And then there's this TV show called The Happytime Gang where they start getting offed one by one, and you find out that there's this contract negotiation where it's going to go into syndication, and every member of the cast is going to get X number of dollars. But because this was dreamed up by no lawyer in existence, but by a Hollywood scriptwriter, if one cast member happens to die, well, the syndication check gets split amongst the other remaining members instead. So every one of them dies, the other ones get more money. So like that's legitimately that's the entire fucking premise of this film. So the puppets are getting murdered one by one, and it becomes a really, really predictable detective tale about who done it. And the film agonizes, and I mean this, agonizes over scenes that are just drawn out and boring, where nothing is happening. It's characters just standing around trying to figure out what's going on. The whole time I'm thinking to myself, where are the dick and fart jokes that I was promised in the Red Band trailer for this movie? I shit you not. Again, there's a scene in this movie where the detective is banging the shit out of a girl in his office and comes everywhere for 30 seconds straight.
That's a lot of cum.
It was Loy Sauce. It was. That's the movie I wanted. That's not the movie that they gave me. all of that shit, I swear to God, they did that stuff almost as if just to pack a trailer full of it. And then the rest of the movie that they stuffed in between all those scenes is legitimately the most bored I've been in a cinema in probably a fucking decade. It's horrible. It's a
okay. I have a question to ask.
I have a question to ask. 10.
Worse than Live by Night? Really? Worse than Live by Night? You got to think about that, don't you? Got to think about that, don't you? Is it worse than Live by Night?
Live by Night angered me more. Live by Night angered me more because Affleck broke legitimately the cardinal rule of writing, not just screenwriting in Show Don't Tell. So not as bad as Live by Night, but Live by Night didn't bore me.
All right.
Like, legitimately, it is a boring as fuck detective story. You are sitting there and you saw like a funny sight gag and you're like, that was funny or whatever. And then it's like 10 minutes of when is something going to happen? It's not even a good like detective piece. There's no good dramatic anything in it. There's nothing good about this fucking movie. Nothing. Watch the Red Band trailer. It's literally all of the funny parts except for the 2 parts in the porn shop. Those are the only 2 parts of this movie even remotely worth watching. Every other raunchy piece of this movie was spoiled in the Red Band trailer. There's nothing else in it. Like, you're like, oh, maybe there'll be some other scenes that... No, there are none. 0.
So, Nick, I have to ask you, because as I said earlier, I've been closely, I guess, monitoring the progress of this movie, because it's been in development for like 15 years. And I remember first hearing about it, like, okay, Brian Henson directing an R-rated noir with puppets. Like, that sounded amazing to me. And then they started releasing all of this concept art it was like, from the concept art, it made it look like it was going to be shot like a noir with, dark shadows and smoky, and light coming through the blinds. And so I had it in my head of what the movie was going to be. And so when I saw that initial trailer, I was really taken aback that it looked like a cheap TV show and that it was just the most puerile, lowest common denominator type humor. Now, puppets acting, raunchy is not anything new. Like, Peter Jackson did it with Meet the Feebles. There was Avenue Q, the Broadway show, which is absolutely brilliant. So do you think that Brian Henson's original idea for it, and if it came out, 10 or so years ago, do you think it would have fared better as opposed to what it is now? And what do you think happened in that decade of development that led to what it is now?
I feel like it's almost certainly like by committee. It's almost certainly like filmmaking by committee. Like,
put
you
Melissa
can tell
McCarthy
there were
in
way
it.
too many cooks in the kitchen on this thing. Like, you talk about the concept art, and I've seen the concept art. The concept art for this film is really, really good looking. Like Dick Tracy with puppets for Sin City. Exactly, Scott LeVar over in the live chat. That's kind of the impression that you get when you look at this kind of stuff. Like, and that's kind of the idea that I had hoped for when I watched it. Now, lowest common denominator is fine by me. I love gross out, raunchy ass fucking humor. I love it if it's done well. But the problem is, there's a complete tonal shift numerous times in this movie, because there'll just be a raunchy scene for the sake of having puppets doing something raunchy, and then it'll be legitimately 15 minutes of them trying to tell an actual detective story filled with characters you don't care about, with legitimately terrible actors. Terrible. Everyone phones it in this fucking movie. Melissa McCarthy looks like a deer in headlights the whole time. She looks like every day she showed up on set, like she had no idea there were puppets in the movie. Even the subsequent days after she had shot other scenes. Like, every day it was like she was shocked that there were puppets in it. It doesn't know what it wants to be. So you get the Red Band trailer, which is like, this is the film I'm selling. It's going to be all raunchy, crazy, insane, gross out humor. It's not that. You look at those original production stills. Is this going to be like this kind of really cool noir thriller with puppets? It's not that either, because the detective portion of the film is boring as fuck. It's legitimately terrible. You want it, like, you're watching the whole thing and you just want to sleep through it. You're just like,
I don't think you're the only one, Nick. I feel like, based on what I've seen from other major critics, It's getting
Hate
shit
it.
on by everybody. It's got a horrible Rotten Tomatoes score. Not that
Well,
matters so much
and
on
the
our show,
box,
but
the box office returns are not doing this movie any
Melissa
favors.
McCarthy's worst
not at
opening.
all. Ever.
It's like, it's not a good movie.
Even
It's
lower
just-
than Tammy.
It's just not good. It's just not good.
So what you're saying is Jim Henson is rolling in his grave right now.
And you mentioned Brian Henson. Brian Henson does direct this film. He's directed all those other Muppet movies. Like, you'd think if anybody was going to be able to take this and make it,
it would be him, right?
great,
Yeah,
it would be him.
It sounds like, yeah.
And it misses everything. And I don't know exactly what happened behind the scenes, but I would wager somewhere along the way he lost control of this project, and too many hands got into this cookie jar and just tried to add all these other elements that this film doesn't need. You need to pick a direction and stick with it. It's kind of like The Meg, like we talked about with that film, all over the place tonally. Like, it wanted to be 5 different things and it didn't hit any of them correctly. This is exactly the same way, but worse.
What I think happened, because I think he was really struggling trying to get financing for this thing. So I'm sure he went to the studio and they said, if you add a lot of, fart and dick comedy. Well, I mean, if you add some and put Melissa McCarthy in it, then we'll give you the money necessary to make the film. And that's what Brian Henson felt like he had to do in order to get it made.
But it's unfortunate knowing who he is, the artist that he is, and being the son of the iconic Jim Henson, that he would actually compromise his vision just to get the film made. You'd feel like he'd probably rather shelve it than make an inferior product, which is what it seems was made and what was released.
Or maybe this is his vision and it's just really bad.
Okay, it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I just can't believe, knowing what he has done in the past. Not that artists can't do bad stuff, because artists do all the time, but knowing him and his past, it's unfortunate. I won't be watching it. I didn't want to watch it in the damn first place. I know Nick was looking forward to it. He was excited.
I was really excited because, like I said, Loisos mentioned it perfectly. Like, it's that bottom of the barrel. It's that bottom rung, that super raunchy, just nasty, disgusting, offensive kind of humor. I love that stuff, but you have to do it well. And if you're going to put it in a movie, give it to me a lot. I want to watch like tons and tons of scenes. I want to go right from the scene of the puppet coming to something even worse. But the film doesn't do that. The raunchy scenes are legitimately, I swear to God, the Red Band trailer is like 2.5 minutes long. That's 95% of those scenes in the movie. The full scenes.
To everyone listening, I would recommend watching Peter Jackson's Meet the Feebles.
I've been told that already, actually. I've been recommended that.
That's a film where all the puppets have AIDS and it ends in a gory shootout. And if you're looking for puppet raunch, I feel like that's the avenue to go down. So 1 out of 10, Nick, is that what you said?
1 out of 10. Officially the worst movie of the fucking year. And I know some of that is playing into disappointment. But again, marketing has a big thing to do with this, because you sold this 100%. And even Loisos, you even said it when you watched the trailer. What do you get the impression that this film is? Nothing but a gross out, raunchy, crazy movie with puppets just being disgusting and doing all this dumb bullshit. And that's not even what it is. It's terrible. It's legitimately legit worst movie going experience I've had this year. So I just wanted to shit on that movie right out front and really just
off the bat. Get it out of the way, man. Get it off your chest, dude.
Hated it.
This is
so
your
much
avenue to
that
do that.
I had to spew about it right here up front.
Well, you just
really,
bust
really
your own nut all over that movie, and you've been holding it. You've had blue balls since you watched it. So
That's a lot of cum.
I give you a lot of credit, man. And that probably was, you probably held it that many days. I'm sure it was a giant load, huge load all over that movie.
So I don't want to waste any more time on it. We do still have some other stuff to get to.
As long as Nick doesn't die, that is. We don't want him to die.
We love you, Nick.
My breathing, and we're in the edited show, nobody will notice this, but I'll address at least the people that are watching on stream and everything like that. It's because I've been working out so much. My lungs are not used to, the amount of work that I've been making them do. So they can be a little difficult to deal with from time to time. So let me roll back in here. Actually, I'm going to roll into what are you drinking, so I'm going to start recording real quick. Check, check. What are you drinking? Check. Okay. Okay. Like I said, it's just because of the working out. Like, I've been really pushing hard. And it's not doing good for me, really. So, let me roll in here. Jesus. 5, 4, 3, 2. So, gentlemen, I am sick to death of talking about this fucking garbage can of a movie. So I want to move over into much happier, much more positive news. And of course, I am talking about what are you drinking?
I'm back! Puke and rally! Woo! Give me a beer!
Now I know every time he's been on the show recently, let's see, last time he was on the show for the Meg, he was allergic to the Meg because he's allergic to garbage. The time before that,
good excuse, yeah.
So he didn't have anything to drink then. Loy Sauce, the god of podcasting, what are you draining into your dick hole?
Nothing.
God damn it, Loy Sauce.
I'm sorry.
Can't you, like, control this? Man.
He has no damn excuse. You know why? Because his mom likes IPAs, and I'm sure there's an IPA in his fridge. He's just refusing. He's refusing to us. He's refusing to the fans, to the listeners, to drink an IPA. So that's on you, bro. That's all on you.
It's all on me. Crucify me. I mean,
God
what can I say?
Damn it.
How dare you?
I agree, Paul. How
I'm sorry.
Damn it.
dare
I
you?
don't want to I don't want to disappoint Paul. I'm sorry.
How dare he? Of course, he is the god. So how dare I question he? But
check, sound check.
There
we go.
Wow.
So as like last time, you guys do your thing, talk about your beers, and I will listen and clap.
You're gonna get a big old spanking from Daddy later. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow.
I don't have a fucking blue waffle.
Boy.
All right.
Did you just say I'm cruising for a bruising?
Damn right you are.
That's what my dad used to tell me growing up.
Oh, it's true. It's true. You know what I'm gonna do to you? I'm gonna do to you what the dad does in the beginning of The Mutilator after the boy shoots and kills his mother while he's cleaning his dad's gun.
Slaps him across the fucking
kill
face.
him, hang him, hit him.
And that kid flies 10 feet across the room.
Speaking of which, I need to purchase Haunted Ween on DVD, that anniversary edition DVD they have.
Kill him, hang him.
We'll be buying it. We'll be talking about it. Right now, we're going to talk about beer, and I might as well just jump right in, Nick, so that gives you time to breathe.
Do it, baby.
Yeah. So right now, I'm drinking Caw. This is my first beer that I've bought from Aslan since my vacation to Boston. It's a double IPA with milk sugar, dry hops with Citra and Amarillo hops. It's supposed to be like really citrusy and have like a pineapple bomb, almost very much like a creamsicle. But I'm not getting that at all from this, unfortunately. Now, I've had a lot of their other creamsicle styled beers that have all been fantastic, but there's something with it that just it doesn't sit right with me. It's just kind of bland.
Go fuck yourself.
That's what I would probably say to this beer, but Aslan's never made an outright horrible beer, so it's probably a one and done for me. And I actually went out of my way to go buy this, so that way I had it for Mahoning Drive-In Theater for Camp Blood Part 4, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And I didn't even drink them while I was there. I drank more of your home brews, Nick, while I was there than I drank these, so that says something.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear all about that. We're going to talk Camp Blood, and the guys are going to review Summer of 84 coming up on the back half of the show when we get over into our second segment after EFG history, baby. So Justin, go ahead. I know you want to do it. No, not that. What the fuck was that?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
I didn't
I'm slap
suck
happy.
a dick last night.
No, I didn't. I did not. Last night I was sick in
It's a
bed.
dirty lie.
You know.
What do you got? Goes on down your goal saving.
That's a lot of cum.
The sauce
All right,
is
well,
not amused by this.
over the weekend, I had the opportunity to head over to Owego, and I got a chance to go to Farmhouse Brewing. Justin, have you ever been to Farmhouse?
Still have never been there, and I graduated from Owego actually.
Yeah.
Graduated high school from there, and I've still never been there.
I also went over to Crystal City Olive Oil and picked up some balsamic vinegar and some olive oils and stuff. But this, Justin, is their 1,000-pound sow. This is a Belgian quad. So this is an insanely dark beer with a lot of good, dark kind of flavors in it. You get some fig. You get some molasses in this. Heavy-duty malt flavors. Boozy as hell. And it's just rich and delicious. Speaking of Belgian-style beers, Justin, have you tried the Belgian yet?
Yeah, I did. I brought a couple of them with me to Camp Blood. I drank one of them. I shared one of them with one of our patrons, Paul, and it got passed around. Unfortunately, no one came up begging for your beers. I apologize. I just had to be honest. I did promote the fact that I'd have them there, but I did drink one of the Belgians while I was there. It was pretty good.
Belgians were good, Nick. I tried them.
You had one too, right? You had one too, right, Loy Sauce?
I had two.
So I brought, I think I brought more of that one than the other beers.
No wonder nobody else could have it. Fucking Sauce drank it all.
He'll drink there, but he won't drink on the damn show. What does that tell you?
If I had one of Nick's Belgians right now, I'd be drinking it.
Yeah.
Spoiled rotten. I should have sent you home with some. I still got a couple, I think.
Do it.
Do it. But this is really, really good. Like I said, you get all those kind of darker fruit, darker sugary kind of flavors in there. Got that sweetness to it, but then the booziness hangs out right with it. It's really, really good. Probably one of the favorite beers of theirs that they do. Earlier tonight, I had a hazy double from Prairie Artisan Ales out in Destruction in Human Forms neck of the woods. Jared Taylor, and they actually sell it at Sam the Beer Man, so I made sure I grabbed some because as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is that beer that's out in Oklahoma that Jared drinks. So I grabbed some of it right up because we love Jared. Why not? We got to do it.
I'd love to try an Oklahoma beer. To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever tried a beer from Oklahoma. So I'd love to.
I don't think I ever had either.
Lucky you.
So yeah, it was really, really wonderful. YouTube audience, if you're watching this after the fact, hit that little subscribe button down there and ring that little bell so you're going to be notified every single time we upload a new video like this one or like last week's, which is still not online yet because I've been very busy, unfortunately, but I will get these up as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very, very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. All right, I'm going to stop recording that. All right, so what we're at... Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to roll back in. I'm going to just cut us into a break, and then we'll go from that into... we'll go from that, and then you guys can just basically do, talk about Camp Blood, talk about Summer of '84, all that kind of stuff in the back half.
So are we saving this?
Nope. Keep recording.
Oh, okay.
Yep, keep recording. All right. So back in 5, 4, 3, 2. So, gentlemen, Justin, you mentioned there. Justin, I could be wrong, but I think you have Prairie Bomb, Jared says. Have you had Prairie Bomb, Justin? Check your Untapped during the break.
I will. I'll check it out.
He's going to check it out right now. All right, so 5, 4.
No.
Are you checking it out right now?
I have had it. Yeah, I had the stout. Yeah, I have had that one.
Ooh.
That's right. He's right.
What did you rate it?
I said Not as spicy as I'd like, but damn, this thing is complex. Super smooth for 13%. I like it.
You sucked his dick.
4.5, 4.25, 4.25. And Jared said, "Awesome. I'm glad you got to try a beer from Oklahoma." Where the fuck have I been? Well, since April, I don't know. That's when I drank it. I know where I've been.
I don't know. All right, let me roll in here. 5, 4, 3, 2. And gentlemen, Justin mentioned earlier. Yeah. And gentlemen, Justin just mentioned there the Belgian. And he brought some of my beers to the Mahoning Drive-In where the two of you got to spend a weekend watching a whole shitload, and I mean a shitload, of horror movies. And you both got the chance to check out Summer of 84. So what we're going to do, roll into a quick break here. EFG history time. And then when we come back, you guys are going to tell us all about that amazing experience for Camp Blood and Summer of 84.
We'll be right back.
You know you don't have to do that anymore, right?
I just like doing it.
Yeah.
I
cut him out of the show now.
I hate
just to kind of try to punch it up a little bit. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to play some EFG history clips for just a couple of minutes because I had to turn my air back on. Keep recording, and you know what? I'm going to find an image for Summer of 84 as well. So stream, listen to some EFG history clips, hang out. Good to have you guys. Thank you very much, everybody out there that's watching. We love you. I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys.
Me and Epic Film Guy Nick actually got together late Christmas Eve, actually early Christmas morning. I was in town in New York.
And it was great to see you.
It was.
I must say.
Good to see you too, and you got to see the epicness of my hobo beard.
Oh, it was the first time I had seen the hobo beard in person, and the pictures don't do it justice because he looks about 7 times more homeless than he ever could possibly look in these photographs. I thought he stumbled in off the street. Like, he looked like he just walked like out from underneath the railroad underpass.
Hey, but I brought beer though.
You did bring beer, and it was a very good beer. Sierra Nevada's Celebration, which is a great beer. So thank you very much. It was very, very good, very, very good to see you, my friend. It was.
Wow.
900 podcasts.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty good, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Please don't keep that in the show.
Oh my God. That is going to be the opener, James.
Did I get the number right?
No.
Did I get any of it right?
No.
What is the number, Emily?
525,600 minutes.
Nice.
Thank you.
Now we all know Emily can actually sing nearly as well as I can.
Nearly. Oh, not even close, James. You can always tell when we have recorded our second episode of the night because we've already had a lot of
We're a little
wine.
looser. Yeah. A lot is not. 2 bottles is not a lot.
2 bottles is not a lot.
2 bottles is not a lot.
I hate when people say you don't need alcohol to have a good time. You don't need running shoes to fucking run, but they help, goddammit.
You know how sometimes you're not going to fuck your mother, and then you are going to fuck your mother? That's exactly what he's saying. Did you know Mr. Pibb was a Dr. Pepper ripoff?
Yes.
By Coca-Cola. I never knew that because no one's ever had Mr. Pibb.
We don't have
myself
Mr.
included.
Pibb up here. We don't need a Mr. up in Connecticut.
We want only drink sodas with doctor in the
We
title.
only drink sodas with a PH fucking D.
Yes, please.
Are these Ben & Jerry's flavors?
Uh-huh.
Or are they an Emily pun?
Okay. Nice.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Some of these I got from the internet. They're not all me.
Okay.
That's my jam.
That's an Emily pun.
That is not. That is
No!
a Ben & Jerry flavor.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Raspberry beret.
Ben & Jerry's.
Nope.
What?
That's mine. Empowerment.
Ben & Jerry's.
Yes.
Finally.
Wu-Tang Flan.
You. Please tell me that was you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go shorty, it's your birthday.
I'm so torn. You.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
That was the internet, so Robert Brownie Jr.
You. Pets are apparently not allowed at the Vatican.
But if they were, it would be called the catechin.
It sure. And also, there's a category of cats who've braved the high seas.
Yo, on the Meoceans.
The what?
Meoceans?
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Yeah. If I had a record of all popping, that would be great.
Get Orville Redenbacher's 1976 hit. The Colonel plays them all.
Oh, it would be a pop album. Yeah?
Fuck, Emily. Stop making my voice into a robot's voice, Emily.
Stop giving me the ammunition needed in the recordings to do so, James.
Emily, it hurts my feelings when you do that.
I want that non-robotic voice. I do not sign on for that.
Sir, buddy, little man, little Mimi, hair man.
Sir Ploppington.
Sir Ploppington.
Baby Buster.
What can you can't like yell out to him. I just like kept walking like, yep, I'm the guy who puts dog shit in his pocket.
Like, where do I stand?
Oh, James, you would be kicked out even before number 32.
You could placate me a little bit.
No,
Let's try
I
that
can't.
again.
I can't. No.
Where would I rank, Emily? You'd be number 1, James. Thanks, Emily. This is a classy little podcast with James and me, Emily.
You know what? You put the men in menstruation, which is why we need
Jesus.
chocolate.
Is it that time again?
What? Come on, be the John Ralphio to my Mona Lisa right now, James. Come on.
I think I can speak for everyone who's ever listened to the Classy Little Podcast when I say we're going to miss you. Thank you very much, Emily, and thank you, James, for all of the great episodes and great moments that you've given us. We'll be right back. Very, very safe to say right from the onset that every single one of us absolutely thought this film was the biggest piece of shit that they've ever seen in the entire fucking year, because it leaves out the most important character from A New Hope of all time. William Hootkins as Porkins is not in the climactic battle, and I'm sorry, I rated a 1 out of 10 just based on that fact. Piece of garbage.
Zero out of 10 for me.
Wow.
Damn. I told you I took a shit right on the movie theater floor after the movie was over because there was no Porkins.
I cannot
Minus 5 out of 10.
believe it.
Minus 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I let the poor 15-year-old kid come and just sweep that up, and I watched him, and I said, there was no Porkins.
I do hate Patrick Swayze because it's like watching a fucking 2x4 act on screen.
So
with a
literally,
giant
this guy's
mullet.
smart. Again, there's supposed to be a 40-minute longer cut of this film that is apparently floating around out there somewhere. This That thing guy
got
sounded
trimmed
smart.
down to a lean
Did you guys hear
2
that guy?
hours and 3 minutes.
I don't even know. I think he sounded kind of semi-smart, but
he sounded gay.
Oh,
damn!
I didn't do anything with phallic objects last night.
Quiet, Nan.
Nick, shut the fuck up.
Yes, Dan. Dan, that's a lie. I jerked off last night. Thanks, Dan. All right.
Porkins, a Star Wars story.
Yes.
that needs to be a thing. Now, Saucy, I hope you're fully prepared to carry this entire portion of this segment on your back the entire runtime. I'm not doing nothing.
This
You
is a
didn't drink
team
beer.
effort.
No, you didn't drink a beer. I expect you to carry this. You open it. You move on it.
You must be kidding, aren't you?
That's what he's going to say to you when you say, no, Tommy, I'm not going to rub your pee-pee tonight.
I wish you would not, just not even go there.
I'm sorry. Oh, this isn't going to be
What
in
a
the
story,
show.
Mark.
It's not going to be in the story. The actual. In the story.
On the
Let's not
way
kill Nick.
on the way to Mahoning, you asked me if I would sleep with Tommy Wiseau, and I said no, and you berated me.
Anyway, how is your sex life?
My soundboard
I
has never
said-
been more pertinent to the show.
I said that I would sleep in a bed with Tommy Wiseau.
You never. You said
few
sleep
minutes,
with Tommy
bitch.
Wiseau.
Yeah, sleep with him.
Right, which implies
Have
sexual...
relations with him.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
You would?
I said you would. You should.
I absolutely
said,
will not.
I'd lay in the same bed as Tommy Wiseau. That's it.
Okay.
Stick fit through a donut.
I would lay in the same bed as Tommy Wiseau.
With him nude.
No. Get
Please
out of
talk
here.
to me, please.
We're killing Nick. Look at his face. It's beat red. He's going to have a fucking heart attack.
God. Oh, my God.
We're still recording.
Stop
Okay,
ganging up on me.
Poor Denny.
Can we do a whole nother episode dedicated to the room? I feel like we should do one every year.
Sure. Once Loy Sauce gets fucking Greg to come
We'll
on.
get Greg on the show.
Hey, buddy, you gonna eat that sausage?
He will be eating it. I know he will.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, I'm gonna
Nick's just
actually.
literally clicking every single button on the soundboard. And
I'm dying here, so I'm gonna mute, and you guys roll in and do your thing whenever you're ready.
All right, y'all ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back, film fans, and thanks for hanging out with us here on the Epic Film Guys podcast. Right now, the God of Podcasting and myself are going to talk about a little experience that's special to us. We do it every single year. We went to the Mahoning Drive-In Theater in Lehighton, Pennsylvania for Camp Blood Part 4. Loy Sauce, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about what we experienced this past weekend?
Well, we've talked about it on the show many times before, but the Mahoning Drive-In Theater is a place that's very special to us. It's a historic establishment. It's been around since 1948, I believe. That was the year that it opened. And
That's correct, yes.
And it is just when we went for the first time a couple years ago to Camp Blood Part 2, we were just gobsmacked by this place, completely charmed and won over by it. There's nothing else like it. You go and there's a community there. There's a bunch of horror fans all wearing, their horror t-shirts. They're horror t-shirts, not their horror t-shirts, but they're horror. They're horror t-shirts. And yeah, it's just a great time. You see people dressed up as Jason Voorhees, Freddy versus Jason, Jason Voorhees, and video game Jason Voorhees, carrying around a plaque that says
and Part 2 Jason Voorhees?
And Part 2. But I love how video game Jason Voorhees had a little sign that said, all your friends are dead, which, of course,
is the ending when you died. Yeah.
Yeah. If you played the Friday the 13th Nintendo game. But anyhow, so it's just a ton of fun. They have all sorts of movie memorabilia and giveaways and stuff like that. But the real draw of the event is that you get to see classic vintage 35 millimeter prints projected on a drive-in screen, which is just, if you're anything like me or Justin and you care about film presentation and the film watching experience, then there's nothing else like being under the stars, hearing the crickets and watching a camp slasher on a drive-in screen. There's nothing else like it. So I think this lineup in terms of like overall quality was one of the best that they've done for Camp Blood so far. Makes me wonder exactly what else they can do from here on out.
How are they going to top it? I don't even
Seriously.
know how they're going to be able to top it, man.
But night one, it kicked off with Friday the 13th Part 2, which is both Justin and I are big fans of Part 2. And then, of course, after that was My Bloody Valentine. That's right.
Yep.
Which, did we do a B-side on that or no?
Nope.
Oh, we did
We're
not.
supposed
Okay.
to.
I feel like we should have done a B-side on.
We were supposed to, but nope. Just like many other B-sides we were supposed to do. We didn't do it.
But thank you,
All right,
Nick.
guys. Next year.
Yeah, we should, because My Bloody Valentine's great. But then after that was Tourist Trap, which I have not seen, but did not watch this time around. I was too exhausted from the trip. But night 2, of course, kicked off with The Mutilator, which I guess we'll talk about maybe a little bit more in depth. After that was a film called Slaughterhouse, and the event wrapped up with a beautiful, pristine 35 millimeter print of Freddy versus Jason, and it was amazing. Isn't that right, Justin?
It was beautiful. I loved the entire weekend. We showed up, and there's a vibe you get when you go in that place, and I've talked about it numerous occasions on the show, but there's no other feeling like traveling through those winding back roads for 20 miles to get to this place, and you finally get there and you see that iconic sign. Now, if you guys paid attention to our Facebook page a few months ago, the iconic Mahoning Drive-In sign was damaged due to heavy winds and the weather during the winter, and they had done a group funding type thing to fix it. And Epic Film guys, we donated for it. I donated, Lois, you donated, and we got to see it beautiful, pristine, and restored. And that's what you see when you drive up to that place, and you just immediately know you're in for a treat when you drive through those vintage doors and you get there, and everyone's like-minded, everyone's excited to be there. I had a blast. Not only did we get to see all these films on 35 millimeter and see The Mutilator for the first time on 35 millimeter, the first time an uncut version of the film had been seen, but we actually got to meet the director, Buddy Cooper, who was there on hand with the special effects man, Edmund Farrell, who we got pictures with, we got autographs with. It was a total blast. I couldn't be happier. Nick is not listening right now, but he did say last week that I shouldn't eat the pizza. Well, I have a little bit of a story in regards to that. Patrick Sherwood, the Hopesters' biggest fan, came to the Mahoning Drive-In to experience Camp Blood 4 with us, and he brought me Nurchi's Buffalo Chicken Pizza. Nick told me not to eat the pizza. I ate the pizza. Guess what the pizza fucking did to me? It got me sick, and I puked up all over right under that giant, beautiful drive-in screen. Chunks. Chunks.
Both Justin and I got horrible food poisoning.
Well, that's what happens when you eat Nurchies that sat in the car all day. I love you, Patrick. I'm glad you came.
We love you, Patrick. Thank you for the thought.
The pizza did make me sick as fuck. But great experience. Loved it. We're going to go at least every single year. We highly recommend it.
Kill him, hang him,
and
hit
once
him.
it comes out and it's available for you guys to watch, we highly recommend checking out the documentary at the drive-in, which Boy Sauce himself screened at Alamo Drafthouse earlier this year, that literally takes place and focuses on the drive-in itself. So check it out if you ever get the opportunity. It's a gem. We actually had an opportunity, though, to see a new movie that just came out last week in limited release, and it's now available on VOD, called Summer of '84. We're going to talk a little bit about that right now. Boy Sauce, why don't you tell our listeners what Summer of '84 is?
Certainly. Well, Summer of '84 is the follow-up film by a group of filmmakers, a trio of filmmakers known as RKSS. They did a film called Turbo Kid a few years back. This is the screening at Alamo Drafthouse, of which Justin and I actually met for the very first time. So
that's right.
It's a very special film for us for that reason, but also because it is such a joyful movie to watch. It is a throwback to 80s pop culture, and it is a low-budget charmer. I mean, it is one of those movies that comes out of nowhere, hits you hard, great characters, and an amazing score by Les Matos. So I was very eagerly anticipating their next film, which is Summer of '84. And Summer of '84 takes place in the summer of '84, that simpler time when kids went to the arcade, stole their dad's Playboys, rode around on their bikes. And that's just what young Davy Armstrong does with his friends Woody, Eats, and Curtis. And Davy is somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. He reads all sorts of sci-fi magazines and clips
Inquirer,
out, and clips out clippings from all the tabloids. And he begins to suspect that his neighbor who lives across the street, who is a police officer and has a a very good reputation in the small town, but he begins to suspect that maybe his neighbor is the Cape May Slayer, who is a serial killer who's been making the rounds on the news. And basically, the story is somewhat of a mix between Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock and Stranger Things. It's kind of like a healthy mix of those things.
I'd also throw the Burbs in for the mix as well.
Definitely the Burbs. There's a lot of inspirations that you get in this movie, but it decidedly takes a darker and more dangerous turn. And without getting into spoilers, it is exactly what you expect until it is not. And I'm just going to throw it over to you, Justin, on your initial thoughts on Summer of '84.
Yeah, I mean, I was extremely excited for this movie. It was on one of my most anticipated the summer list. That as you said earlier, Turbo Kid is one of my favorite movies of the past couple of years. 80s nostalgia is in right now, and you actually mentioned that in your intro to the film when you screened it at Alamo Drafthouse. There is this sense of 80s nostalgia going around. I mean, Ready Player One focused in on that really strongly this year, and it didn't work for me. But the past couple of years, we've had Stranger Things, both seasons of that, and we had It last year. That was a giant hit. These films that take us back to what 80s cinema was, and that take us back to the 80s in general. Being a kid, and if you grew up in the 80s or the 90s, the days before you sat around with a smartphone in your hand to communicate with your friends, you actually talked. You maybe used a walkie-talkie. You rode bikes together. During the summer, you actually did things. Maybe you did spend a lot of your time sitting around playing Nintendo or Atari or whatever, but you still did things together. This is another one of those movies. Now, I hate to compare this to Stranger Things, because based on what I had read, RKSS actually had the idea for this film previous to either it or Stranger Things even being released. But people are going to find those comparisons because guess what? It's about a bunch of kids. It's a Stand By Me-ish type movie where kids are out adventuring around, playing manhunt at night, and our lead character thinks that his next door neighbor that's a cop is a murderer. And, so those comparisons are going to happen no matter what. But for me, I feel like this film, maybe even a little bit more so than Stranger Things, is truly accurate to the 80s. The production design is beautiful. They've absolutely found the perfect cul-de-sac where the houses look exactly like they did in 1986, to go back to the insides of the houses, everything from the carpet to the wall paneling, to the televisions, to the clothes these kids are wearing. They absolutely nail the period.
Even like the little tchotchkes on the mantle of in the house, and the clocks, like it's all done to the nines, I feel like, in terms of capturing that aesthetic and capturing that a sense of trueness to the 80s.
The genuine feeling you have to feel in one of these movies. And one could say, well, isn't this just trying to spark off of the nostalgia boom? I don't think so, because if you've watched Turbo Kid and you know what these guys love, their sensibilities, these guys grew up with these movies. Now, they are Canadian filmmakers. That doesn't make them any less fans of what 80s cinema was. There's a lot of great 80s Canadian cinema as well. And literally this movie takes place, in Oregon? So it's not that far off from Canada anyway. But I think that my initial thoughts on this movie are the kids were all extremely well portrayed. I think all of the acting is pretty good here. All of the kids, Graham, who plays Davy Armstrong, was really good. I mean, I don't have any issues with any of the cast at all. And one character that I absolutely loved is played by Rick Summer, who I've known only for Mad Men and Glow. But he's the one that plays Wayne Mackey, who is the next door neighbor, who's the cop. And we meet him in the opening scene where he's trying to move like a piece of furniture from one room to his upstairs room down to his basement. And he asks the next door neighbor kid to help him with that. And that's when he notices that something that's there in the basement that doesn't look right. There's this sense of suspense throughout the entire movie that kind of builds throughout. And I think that Rick Summer, like you're so used to seeing him in all of these roles where he's kind of like not a pansy, but he's just kind of like a pushover. He puts in a really threatening performance here, and he's got some truly menacing scenes in this thing. And I think out of everything else, he's what works the best for me in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say menacing, because I think you're wondering throughout the movie where exactly you're trying to put your finger on him, because you're seeing things through Davy's eyes, and you're seeing him as this, fine, upstanding, cop that everyone likes, and he's very benign at first, and then just little things in the performance kind of give you the sense that, okay, something is not quite right here. And of course, you find out eventually what's really going on. But I think that performance is very strong, and again, you kind of have to tread that fine line, because you do have those moments of threat, but you also have to play the cop that people wouldn't suspect, except
right. And I think it's all in his eyes. When you can still play that, I'm frightening to you. You could be in that perspective of being a kid and looking at this guy being your next door neighbor, where you're kind of, when you're a kid, you question things. You always question things like, this guy, like, I'm not really sure where I place him. And he's got that look where he's being friendly, and he's able to actually portray like, I'm the nice cop neighbor. There's one scene actually in particular that stands out to me when he's sitting on his porch, or he's sitting on his lawn. Sitting on his lawn in those old 80s lawn chairs that fall apart. And he's got like a cooler out there. He's just drinking a beer, and he asks the neighborhood kids that are playing ball if they want a freeze pop. They all run out there and they all cheer, yay! And they go grab one. And then as they're running away, you see his face, and it's like dead.
He's just watching them. Yeah.
And that could be taken as he's just watching the kids, or there's something creepy going on inside this fucking dude's head. And you can take it as you will. We don't want to go super spoilers in this review, because this is a movie that we're going to recommend in the end that you guys see. It did not do a wide release in theaters, but it is on VOD, so you can rent it right now. And we hope you check this out, because I think it's a lot of fun. I think first and foremost, for a movie that does a lot of the same things that we have seen in Stranger Things, that you take a group of kids, they're misfits, they hang out, and they're having a blast during the summertime. It does it extremely well, I think. And the comparisons aside, it's still a really enjoyable movie to watch.
I agree. Yeah, it has this really great sense of building suspense throughout, and it all kind of comes to a head at the end, and I could feel the energy in the audience. And it's kind of a shame that this isn't getting a wide theatrical release, because it is the kind of movie I feel like is best served with a communal experience, because I could just feel everyone at a certain point just like on the edge of their seat in the audience, and just really
it definitely takes some turns that you're not expecting, for sure.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. It is very entertaining, and the kids are all very likable. And I guess, and again, we shouldn't go too spoilery, but it does get dark, and it does get like there are moments where this shit is serious. These kids are really in danger. So without losing that sense of fun, it does tread into some very very intense,
it provides you as well with an ending that most of these movies would not dare to go to.
Yeah.
So it gives you something a little bit different in that sense. And everyone that listens to this show already knows this. Anything relating to 80s nostalgia is what my life is, basically. Like I eat up all of this shit. The music, the Matos, I've actually seen them live. I love them so much. They came back again to do the score in this film after doing the score for Turbo Kid, and the score is brilliant. If you have not listened to the track with Computer Magic yet, it's available, and the score is actually available to listen to in full now. Make sure you check that out if you're a fan of synthwave or retro 80s throwback scores. Synthwave stuff, it's beautiful. I loved it so much. You had heard some complaints that people said that the score is a little overbearing. I could kind of see that a little bit, because it does very powerful.
It does tend to creep in during dialogue scenes and stuff where it maybe didn't need to be there, but it is a great score.
Yeah, beautifully shot, well acted. It's fun. I'm going to say this much though as we close out our review of the film. I don't think it was great. It definitely didn't change anything for me. It's not like a game changer for the whole 80s nostalgia type genre that they're doing right now, but I think it's one of the best. I think it's extremely solid, and I highly recommend it. I'm going to give Summer of 84 a 7 out of 10 rating. I think it was good. There were a lot of things in the film that I think could have been improved upon, but there are some immensely chilling sequences that I thought were fantastic. And there's just imagery in this film that you haven't seen in other movies like this in a long time. So 7 out of 10 for me. Saucy, what do you got for a rating for me?
Oh, I'm gonna.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Yeah.
Don't you dare! You're gonna really.
Everyone who listens to the show knows that Justin and I disagree on very little.
We can't do this anymore. We can't do this anymore.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. Just because I really did enjoy the film. It's a blast, and it really does go to territory that a lot of other films would not, which I really admire it for. I do feel like there are certain things missing in the story. A couple of I don't know if you could call them plot holes, but just things that aren't explained throughout that I was like, wait a minute, that's what? How does that make sense? And also, I feel like even though all of the kids have chemistry and you can tell that they've been friends, you don't really get a sense of exactly how their friendship is necessarily affected by what's happening. And I would have liked one scene to really cement the fact that they're friends and that they connect. Because
you did that one crucial sequence. That, and I have to cut in there as well that one other character that I did like, but I feel like she was underutilized, was the character of Nikki, the girl next door, played by Tira Skavbe. I really was hoping that we would have gotten more of her, because we get a glimpse of her at a bowling alley scene, which is a fantastic scene. I don't know where the fuck they found that bowling alley that still looks like it's been operational since 1985. It's stunning, but I felt like she was underutilized. She just kind of popped in and out of the film and really didn't serve her purpose to the full extent that I think she could have.
I agree. So a few minor squabbles here and there. It didn't change my life. It didn't set the world on fire. But for what it was, incredibly enjoyable watch. And I recommend anyone listening, it's on VOD, it's on iTunes, streaming platforms. So track it down, give it a watch. It's great. It's a great movie to close out the end of summer. And download that score, because oh my goodness.
Buy that score.
Yeah.
And if you see Lematos is coming to your town, go see them live, because they fucking rule. And that's it. That's it for Summer of 84. Make sure to check it out.
That sounds really, really good. I actually kind of want to check it out myself now.
I feel like you would like it, Nick. Check it. Yeah. I'd be curious.
You review a film again on this show and give it the same score, you're going to get hit. Just flog. That's it.
I mean, what can I say? I mean, we have very similar tastes, but we may have a few B-sides coming out where our scores might be dramatically different.
In the next 2 months, we do have some B-sides coming, actually. There's maybe one B-side, Nick, that you would refuse to come on because you hate the franchise so much. So, I mean, I don't know. We got some stuff coming for you, but I don't know if we'll agree on everything or not. I'm sorry if we do. I'll beat him so that he doesn't feel the same way that I do.
Please.
I'll abuse
Can we
him.
just have that? Could that just be the B-side, you beating the sauce?
Hey, I didn't agree with that.
I'd go to prison. That's child abuse. What kind of dad beats their kid?
He was like so meek and quiet. I was like, I don't
You're not my
agree with that.
dad. You're not my dad.
So, gentlemen, just a little bit of housekeeping here as we get ready to wrap out the show. If this thing would go.
Epic Film Guys Fitness Challenge.
Wait.
Always scan this section. Start on screen keyboard.
Yeah, give me it.
Epic Film Guys Fitness Challenge.
No, what the hell? What happened?
We're having a fucking blast here, ladies and gentlemen.
God damn it. Dan says, I want to see Justin fight the Sauce's dad for sole custody of Saucy.
His dad's old. He's 60 years old. I could beat him up. I'll just trip him.
Oh.
Fall over.
Ooh.
I would actually, you know what? I'd pay to watch that.
Okay.
My dad can beat up you. Is that a thing people say?
I don't think so. Maybe. But that usually when people say that they're in grade school, and that would mean that the dad would probably get arrested for beating up a small child. So I don't know.
All right, let me roll in here now. 5, 4, 3, 2. Just a little housekeeping to wrap out things on the show. Now, as we talked about a little bit earlier, by the time this episode lands, we will be 1 day away from the beginning of what, Justin?
The Epic Film Guys Fitness Challenge.
No, not horror, not yet. Stop that.
I'm already in horror mode. Camp Blood did it to me. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
I know you are. So, again, every 25 miles you guys accumulate is another movie that I have to watch. Weekly challenges are going to be a thing. Prizes. Tons of prizes we're going to be giving away for this thing. And you get to get... and you... I can't even fucking talk. And you get to get in great shape. You can't ask for more than that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And I hadn't decided last week what I wanted to do with the proceeds. Justin made the graphic. It's a sweet... I can't wait for you guys to see it when we put it on the shirts, put it on the water bottles. Amazing retro 80s style graphic. It's going to immediately pop at you. It screams Epic Film Guys. I really think it does. It's a great, great graphic, dude. We're going to slap this on the water bottles and the t-shirts. All of the proceeds. I hadn't decided where the money was going to go as of last week. But if you guys remember, during the live stream for The Cure, we were joined the very last segment of that show by Perry and Lindsay Johnson. Perry, who had only a couple weeks before been diagnosed with stage 4 esophageal cancer. And they, unfortunately, you know, they're still in the throes of this fight. They actually find out tomorrow, as of recording day, kind of what the next step is, because he finished like his first round of chemo and all that stuff. And they still need a lot of help, and they still need a lot of, you know, people to kind of draw attention to them. Every week in the show notes, if you go down into the show notes of this or on your podcatching app, whatever, the link is always there for their GoFundMe, where you can always make a donation. But all of the proceeds from everything that we sell for this fitness challenge, 100% is going right into their pockets to help them out, because neither one of them can work. Unfortunately, she's constantly taking care of him and 3 kids. They have 3 kids. And of course, he just finished chemo and everything else. He's just having a really, really tough time of it. And literally, I think we got to do everything that we can to help out. So that's where we're going to put all of that. Please, please, please head over to the Hopesters Dumpster. There will be weekly check-in threads for you guys to post screenshots of the routes you're doing, of the exercises you're doing, the miles that you have, whatever. There are going to be prizes, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a blast. And the most important thing here is let's work together to get in shape. I know everybody's going to take it as an opportunity. So many people are already so happy that they're going to be able to make me watch whatever they want. That's why everybody's so much in love with this thing. But we get to get in shape together, guys. We get to work together. And if you're listening to this after the fact, I cut it all out, but I've been coughing so much because I have been exercising. Last week alone, just in terms of the elliptical and in terms of walking and whatever, I burned 4,500 calories. Like, I've been busting my ass, but unfortunately it's messing with my lungs, because my lungs are like, dude, what are you doing? Sit down, stop exercising, stop moving. To which I say, no, I will not. So, yeah, fitness challenge. Head. God, we got to finish this so fast. Head over to the Hopesters Dumpster. The thread is in the announcements. All of the check-in threads will be in the announcements and everything. Tons of prizes. Again, buy a water bottle, buy a shirt, buy 10 of each, whatever. All the proceeds are going to go to Perry and Lindsay. And let's just have fun. Let's have a great, great challenge ahead of Halloween. Yeah.
Ding 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 ding. Oh, don't even get me started. Look at this, Nick. Look, see.
Too spoopy for me.
I'm already there, man.
Of course.
He's already lit.
It's the
I'm
Halloween
already
pumpkin.
prepared.
It's the Halloween pumpkin that he's showing on the camera. We all know Justin, like, legitimately, I'm surprised he's not camped out in front of a theater already to see David Gordon Green's Halloween. I know he's going to be watching like a hawk for any little nugget of information, ratings-wise, review-wise, that's going to come down the pipe ahead of its release and the weeks ahead of its release. He's going to be dying, clamoring for it, scraping, clawing. We've got a lot of...
Justin's lucky that he's friends with me because I know when tickets go on sale.
Boom. So it's just... Yeah, it's going to be a really, really exciting horror season. September, Dave and Jay, the Super Movie Brothers, are coming back on the show to help us review Shane Black's The Predator. That's going to be an absolute blast. I'm going to shit all over it. And...
it might be great.
What?
It might be great. Who knows?
It might be. You never know. It's got The Predator.
Go in with an open mind, Nick.
Have you ever seen that creature? Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
No.
One of the greatest designs for an alien creature in cinematic history.
Die. So they'll be joining us to help us review The Predator. We love them. And been a long, long time since we had Dave and Jay on the show. Very, very long time. So I'm really, really excited for that. And month of October, she was with us last year when Justin was out in California. She subbed in one of the weeks. Dina Marie from Twisted Philly is going to be back on the show, and we're going to be doing Hush, and we're going to be doing, what was the other movie I told you, Justin? Shit. Fucking A.
When a Stranger Calls?
Yes. And the original, the 70s, When a Stranger Calls. I've never seen either one of these movies, so we'll see. I really actually had a good time with the two horror films that we watched last year. That was my first time ever experiencing An American Werewolf in London last year. So, yeah, I'm really, really hoping. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful to have her back on the show. She is a huge horror fan, and Justin will actually be on the show this time, so the two of them will just feed this dark, horrific horror energy off of each other literally the whole time.
It'll be a blast. It'll be
absolutely
a lot
amazing.
A lot of fun, a lot of blood, a lot of guts, and
I know
a whole lot of cum.
A whole lot of cum.
That's a lot of cum.
There we go. But ladies and gentlemen, I've got to get out of here before I can't breathe anymore. So we're going to go ahead and wrap out the show here. You guys are amazing. Over at a Patreon right now, check out our brand new Patreon tiers. $1 gets you access to all of the extended cut episodes. You can go all the way up. One of the tiers, you get a quarterly loot box. Once a season, first one's coming in November, you get a loot box just full of all sorts of EFG swag and other cool goodies, including copies of Emily's The Story Behind book. We're going to be giving one of those away. Actually, two of those away. We're going to be giving two of those away, one in the month of September, one in the month of October as well. We've got to celebrate this amazing, amazing accomplishment by Emily. First of all, the most amazing person on the planet, number one. And now she's got her own book. That's just absolutely amazing. And she was the first person that we ever met as podcasters. And it's kind of crazy to think about how much success she's had doing this little thing, casting pods.
Congratulations, Emily.
Congratulations.
It's absolutely
She's amazing.
wonderful.
Emily's amazing.
I sucked a dick last night.
Emily. Every time. I don't know why she has to jump in there with that every single time. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very, very much for listening tonight. We really, really appreciate it. Bill, thank you very much for the 100 biddies over in the Twitch chat. I love you. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for listening. Check us out legitimately everywhere. EpicFilmGuys.com takes you directly to Podbean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on a radio thing that the Mole Man Show put together, and I can't remember the name of it right now. And fuck, hang on, I'm gonna find it. I made the mistake of Googling Mole Man Radio, and it just came back with a whole bunch of videos of Hans Mole Man from The Simpsons doing his Mole Man in the Morning skit.
Hello, this is Mole Man in the Morning. Good Mole Man to you. Today, part 4 of our series of the agonizing pain in which I live every day. Hello.
Hang on, I gotta find this thing here. Man Show. There we go. There we go. Hang on. What the fuck is this thing called? I want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Do I still have the... oh. I'm narrowing it down. I'm getting there. What is it? Mole Hole Talk Radio. Okay. Okay. Where's the schedule? Hang on. Let me find the schedule. This is the most entertaining thing you'll ever watch on Twitch, I promise. Or YouTube if you're watching this after the fact. Whatever the case may be, I promise you'll never, ever have a better time. I don't even know where the fuck the schedule is for this thing. Why is nothing listed anywhere, people? I don't know. But either way, I believe it's Tuesdays and Fridays. All right, rolling this back in here. 5, 4, 3, 2. We're on Mole Hole Talk Radio, put together by Chris, the Mole Man Show. Tuesdays and Fridays. I'm unsure of the times because I couldn't find the schedule when we just took a break here in the actual show to try to find it. I couldn't even find it. I'll try to find it and put it in the show notes down below. We're everywhere. We're legitimately everywhere, and we're just expanding every single opportunity that we get. Follow us over on Twitch. Follow us over on YouTube. You can catch live replays of the show over there, and you can catch the show live Mondays when we record over on Twitch at twitch.tv/epicfilmguys. We are legitimately everywhere. So once again,
every single social media platform, everywhere. Just Epic Film Guys. Just search that.
Google us.
You'll find it everywhere.
Google
everywhere.
Us. So remember, Epic Film Guys Fitness Challenge kicks off Saturday, September 1st, and we cannot wait. We cannot wait. This is going to be an absolutely amazing time. It's going to be so much fun. And, guys, we're going to get healthy together. We're going to stay fit. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you can make me watch shit. You can make me watch legitimately any piece of garbage that you want.
Patrick Swayze's entire filmography. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm throwing that out there. You're listening to this. You can make that happen. You can make that happen.
I was surprised. Winners is going to embark on a coast-to-coast run. Like Forrest Gump, he's just going to keep running, like, literally the whole month until he accumulates, like, thousands of miles. And he's just going to be like, you have to watch Dirty Dancing over and over and over again. It can't be the same movie twice, though. You got to vary it up. We got to vary it up so I get...
You got to give him some variety.
You give me a film education here, people. You got to let me... Joey DiCarlo, I think, was going to make me watch Break Into Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, that's great. That's a lot of fun.
Can't wait. It's going to be super, super fun. So just please, please, please get involved. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I love you guys. You guys are absolutely wonderful. Thank you very, very much for listening to the show, for supporting us in everything that we do. For myself, for the, ladies and gentlemen, the god of podcasting, the A1 Loy Socks.
Loy Sauce.
That guy. And for Justin, thank you all very, 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 very much for listening. And
we will see you
at the movies.
That's a lot of cum.
Why do you have to add that? It's
you
not
know why?
important.
Because it's a lot of cum.
My God in heaven. All right, Twitch audience, thank you. As I do my swapping. Twitch audience, by the way, if you're watching, I'm actually going to be throwing up right after this stream ends the live replay 4 hours of EFG history clips. That's all it is. 4 hours from the first 2.5 years of the show's history. There's a lot of really, really good stuff in there, so stick with it. But we're going to go ahead and say goodbye on the stream for now. And it's already all messed up anyway, so, well, whatever. So thank you all very, very much for listening, everybody. You guys are absolutely amazing. Like I said, stay tuned for that rerun starting very shortly after the stream ends. Thank you all very, very, very much for watching. We're not starting soon. Get out of here. Say goodnight, Loy Sauce.
Good night, everyone. I love you.
Bye. Bye.
You were supposed to do the thing good night, Loy Sauce.
What?
You ruined it.
I don't understand.
I said, say goodnight, Loy Sauce. So you're supposed to say...
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, you get it. But now you ruined it.
Sorry.
Good night, everybody.